Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 5 of Transport Fever 2. This is, of course, the No Loan Challenge, and we're essentially picking up exactly where we left off last episode. Now, if you didn't watch last episode, I would say you missed a pretty good one. We firmly established that Downey, this city here, is going to essentially be our sort of central hub for our, I guess, our big passenger line that we're going to have. And it's obviously going to run from Surprise. And as you can see, we set up a nice bus line there. But yeah, we also set up bus lines in Downey and Norwalk as well. And then we actually set up the passenger line, which is currently here. So let's play that. It's currently here at Downey, filling up, which is nice. Not a full load, but we're getting close to getting a full load, so that's decent. We also might need to get a few more vehicles out on these bus routes, as they are starting to fill up a little bit. So yeah, once again, the reverse bus loops seem to be the best. Or well, actually, this one's the normal bus loop. Yeah, primarily it's the reverse. So what we'll do, let's buy 2 more vehicles for the Downey reverse bus loop. Let's get 2 more stagecoaches. Might be a little bit of overkill, but we can always just move them onto the opposite line if that one does start to get a little bit too busy. Anyway, as you can see, the train is heading off, and of course it is going to our other city that we also added a bus line into, and that is Norwalk. So Norwalk, I'm not sure how they're doing. They're actually doing pretty good. They got a 50% increase there as well. So that's not too bad, and we actually haven't even started supplying them with any sort of materials that they need. And it seems like their bus route as well, or bus routes I should say, are doing pretty well. So yeah, you know, the start of this passenger line, or this bigger project, seems to be going pretty well. And it's making a decent amount of money. Let's have a look here at our most profitable lines. So, as you'd expect, the Atlanta to Oxnard passenger train, almost breaking 1 million there, which is pretty decent considering. And then, of course, we have the Atlanta oil to fuel to the city itself in second place. And then we have our starting line that we started the series off, of course, the crude oil. So they're all doing pretty well. Now, where is our other line? So this one here, it's actually not too bad. It's what, number 5 in our list. Only making about 100,000 so far, but that's fine. Obviously, it's not selling out, and it's also relatively small in regards to the train. It's only 3 carriages long, so you know we've got a bit of expanding to do once they start to pick up a little bit more. But what we're going to do for this episode is, I mentioned at the end of last episode, we're going to advance into mobile. Essentially what we're also going to do is start up the farm here, and we're going to run the grain to the food processing plant. I think we're going to use vehicles for that. I don't think we want to maybe run another train. We could do it and have 2 trains running from both of these, because it is 2 grain to 1 food. So that could be a possibility. But we want to get something in mobile as well. And obviously, the food being so close, it just makes sense. So, yeah, apart from that, we're also going to get in our train line as well. And we're essentially going to have it running across here. So, I guess we're going to probably make another little cross street coming down. And that's probably where we'll put our train, I think. Now, once again, I want to try and keep these roads as straight as possible. And that is definitely not straight, so I'm assuming that's relatively straight. So let's go with this. That looks pretty good. So we'll chuck that there. The train line's going to be on that side there. So let's do that. We'll grab our... Excuse me, it is going to be a passenger line, so let's get that sorted out here as well. Just want to zoom in, and we're going to get a nice little line up here. I think that looks relatively good. It could maybe go back just a tad. There we go. All right. That looks fine. So we'll put it in there. It's going perfectly sort of along that side there for mobile. Now, of course, the next thing we want to do is connect these bad boys up. So let's grab our tracks, and we're essentially going to run it maybe a little bit wider, sort of about there. I think I want to put it about there, and I'm going to grab it there. I wanted it to line up a little bit better coming into here, but it doesn't seem like it wants to at the moment. Why is that not connecting? There we go. I mean, that seems relatively straight. I kind of wish it was a bit higher up, but there's actually no reason for it to be higher up, because no boats or cargo ships or anything are actually going to come from this direction, because it is the edge of the map. So I think we're actually fine, and it's actually not going to be too expensive either. Only 282,000. I was expecting this sort of rail bridge to be a lot higher than what it actually was. So pleasantly surprised. I guess one more thing, we'll grab a few pass signals, primarily just for the roads here. That's fine. I mean, we can chuck one, I guess. Maybe at the station as well, coming out of the station. Again, we don't actually need them, technically, because we're only running... Well, at the moment, we're only running one train. We will have multiple trains, so it will eventually become an issue. But it shouldn't be too big of an issue right now. And I think by then, we'll probably be running double tracks. Actually, we might actually run double tracks from now. Let me slow this down a little bit. I don't want to progress too quickly. But what we're going to do, we are going to configure this one here. We're going to put in the second row of tracks along there. And then we are going to add in another passenger platform as well. That is a passenger platform. There we go. All right. There's our second passenger platform. We don't need any of those buildings. I'm not sure if we need an underpass. I mean, we could maybe go a roof, but it's purely only decorative. Let's go for it. We may as well. Don't want our people standing out in the rain, even though it technically never rains in Transport Fever. So there's our second platform there, which I guess is going to be the mobile platform which comes in. So essentially what we want to do is have... I'm not sure if I want to run separate trains on the same line, or if I want the same line just to be extended. I think for now, we might buy a second train and just have mobile down here to Downey. Down here to Downey. That kind of rhymes a little bit, or it's kind of the same word. Anyway, off topic. So let's grab some more tracks. And I think we're just essentially going to connect these two together. It kind of makes the most sense for us to do. So we'll go as far out as possible. This one doesn't need to link up yet because, again, we're not really doing anything with it, so that's fine. I guess instead of buying a new depot, we may as well just run another train coming out of here. Because we can do that. But let's first set up our line. So I guess the number one stop will be... I mean, it probably doesn't matter. And it's going to go from mobile down to Downey. So there we go. It's coming in on, yeah, perfect. Second platform. Obviously, this one is going to be called Mobile do Downey, and of course passenger, and then our T for the train. Alright. So there's that one sorted out. Now let's actually get our vehicle onto that line. Actually, before we do that, let me pause the game. Seems like we're actually making a pretty decent amount of money. So I'm very happy with that. Pretty much up to 4.8 million, which is pretty incredible. Anyway, what are we going to do here? I could link up some roads, but I think for now this city is so small, and they demand so little, that I think what we're going to do is just literally have a bus that comes through here, comes back, goes up there, and then comes back to the train station itself. So let's just do that. We're only going to need probably 2 stagecoaches in order to do this. But let's, once again, we'll put the bus station essentially in front here of the station itself. And again, I mean, we're not going to really get that perfect, but that's fine. There we go. That's going to go in front there. We're also going to, of course, need another depot as well, which is a little bit unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is. Everything's so far away. So there we go. There's a depot. Alright, bus stops up next. We want one... I guess we want it maybe there. Just so it's as close to this sort of intersection as possible. I'm not sure if we need to obviously have a reverse line. I don't think that's necessary. So what we'll do is we'll go... I think we'll go there. And then I guess we'll have one final stop, maybe on this side there. As it sort of comes back. I think that's relatively good. That should be fine. Alright, so let's set up a new line for that one as well. And we're going to go number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, and then 5 there before it returns. And this one is going to be called the mobile loop, I guess. It's not really a bus loop. Well, it kind of is to an extent, but it doesn't actually loop itself. It kind of just does like a turnaround and then come back the same way, essentially. Which is fine. And it does that, what, twice, I guess? Either way, we're going to call it a bus loop because once the city itself actually develops, then we'll probably add in a reverse line and stuff like that as well. So it's all about the city developing here, and that's exactly the reason why we're bringing in the passenger train. And of course, we're also going to be supplying them with food as well. So this should be pretty good. Let's grab, like I said, 2 stagecoaches will probably be more than enough, at least for the foreseeable future for mobile. So there they go. Got a nice little bus route. I think these guys are being sorted out by these bus stops, so that one should be fine. Of course, we also need to buy the train. But before we do that, let's get this sorted out. Because I do want some growth. Now this road, this road doesn't seem very logical. But at the same time, there's kind of nothing we can do about it. We could delete the road and have it curve maybe over here or curve into this intersection. Might be a bit smarter. But again, you know, we do essentially get paid for the travel. So I think what we're going to do is I want to have double the vehicles running down to here. We're going to have 2 separate lines. So let's do that. But first of all, of course, we need to build our truck stop. Where are we going to build it? That's an interesting question. We could build it here. Coming off this road here. Which I think would actually be pretty decent. I think there's kind of fine. Go right there. Alright. And I guess we can probably put a depot on the other side there. Alright, so they're going to come out of there. Obviously, they're going to eventually drop off here. So let's add another truck station down here as well. This one seems a lot more easier. A lot more easier? A lot more easy to actually place. It's lining itself up very nicely. And again, let's go with the depot up here. We might have to put it... I think we can put it here, actually. That looks fine. Put it right there. That's perfect. Alright, so that's kind of sorted out. So let's make these lines. Alright, so number 1, mobile east farm down to the food processing plant. Going to be loading up on grain and then simply just unloading the grain itself. And like I said, we're gonna try and get double the amount of vehicles on this line compared to this line here. So I think what we'll do, so we got that line. Let's add another one. Actually, never mind. We need to name this one first. So this one is going to be, I guess, mobile farm to food plant. And of course, this one's going to be vehicles, so it gets a nice V. That one's sorted out. All right. I guess we can essentially... Let's buy those vehicles right now. So I think we'll go with... Let's go with 6 to begin with. So they're going to jump on to the mobile food plant. I do want to give them a nice red color, so we'll color them up as well. Alright, and then I guess down here... Well, we actually need to set our drop-off point in the city somewhere. So, with that, simply need the truck unload stop. Now, we do kind of want to get it in the middle, so let's go, like, right there, perhaps. Could see a bit of a problem. Actually, no, it should be fine. Kind of psyching myself out a little bit. It should be fine, should be fine. Alright, so again, we'll use that new line number 2. And let's go from there, simply into the town. And that's a nice delivery. So they're gonna be loading up on the food, and then of course unloading the food itself as well. And that is how we're gonna service mobile. Or mobile. Depends how you want to say it. I would say mobile, obviously. People from America might say it a little bit differently, so don't roast me down below in the comments. But yeah, there we go. So I think we'll get 3 vehicles, perhaps, to start this one off. They're not exactly going to be totally necessary right from the beginning, but we'll chuck them onto line number 2, and then we need to, of course, rename this. This is going to be the mobile, I guess, food plant to city. And of course that is city delivery, I guess. Alright, that looks pretty good. I think we can resume. Let's wait and see what happens with that. Of course, we don't actually have our train yet. But I will purchase that in a second. I kind of just want to see how these buses are going to do. Or these stage coaches, if you will. They're still not essentially buses. I mean, this line is actually really, really starting to pick up now. They only have 4 passengers here, though, in Norwalk. And we're also losing passengers on the reverse bus loop, so yeah, we definitely need to get a few more stagecoaches as well on this line. Let's grab 3 more, and they're going to go on the Norwalk reverse. So it looks like we got a decent amount. Yeah, 29 people there as well. How many at this one? Okay, so that's 19 for the normal route. Whereabouts is the train? How full is the train? Still only 29 coming from Norwalk. Downey seems to be a lot better off, which I find interesting, because we haven't really supplied them with anything either. And they've got 213 residents, as opposed to Norwalk, which actually has more residents. Got 219. Very interesting. And then, yeah, mobile. Looks like it's kind of picking up now. Only 67 residents there. But let's get the train. Let's get it on its way up there. How many people are here, man? 105 people. Okay. Things are really starting to ramp up now. Now, the real question is, do I want to go for a newer train? I think we'll just go with the general. And let's do the exact same thing. We can't actually get our own... our old passenger cars. They've now disappeared. And all we're left with is the more expensive ones. So let's just grab 2 of those for now. And did we actually create the line? I think we did, didn't we? Mobile to Downey. Yeah, we did. There we go. Alright, so he's going to head out. Perfect timing, because the other train just left the platform. But this Downey station is really getting overrun, so that's pretty interesting. And of course, we've still got a supply surprise up to Downey as well. And there's 337 residents there. And we are maxing out on the supply for the bricks. And we are, of course, still producing a lot more. Well, we're kind of producing a decent amount more. Which is interesting. How many do we have here? Only 1. Okay. I'm starting to think, because I think they're paying a lot less now as well. We might have to do something. I've got to try and think of a way for us to get these bricks over here and get them to start, well, for them to start being delivered to Downey. Or to Norwalk. Either or at this point. What we could do is get rid of this depot here and essentially have the passenger train that we're going to build out of here link up somewhere around here before the mountain and join up so we can actually have trains running the bricks up to here as well. Maybe veer off a little bit somewhere else, possibly like over here somewhere. Or maybe over here, actually, to a cargo station. Either way, yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think we kind of probably want to deliver them to Norwalk, just so they get a bit more growth. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. I mean, how's this train doing? I'm assuming we've got, like, heaps of people. Okay, so the hold on, let's pause it here. The Oxnard bus route is now struggling. So, once again, we're going to have to get more buses or more stagecoaches. Let's grab 3 more of those. And they're going on, I think it was the regular bus route for Oxnard. Hold on, which one was it? Yeah, the brown one, bus loop. Alright, so there we go. Hopefully they'll get straight in there and we won't actually lose any potential customers to move. But everything else looks relatively good there. Once again, I feel like this train is just not being full on the way back. I mean, it's kind of getting there. How many people does it have waiting for it? It's probably got a lot of people over in Atlanta. Yeah, so that's at 65 and still continuing to rise. I mean, everything else actually seems relatively good in Atlanta. How big is Atlanta? Interesting, it only has 277 residents. Yeah, I find that very interesting. I'm wondering if a lot of these people up here are probably not being delivered to. Which is, yeah, very interesting. Alright, where's this truck stop? So it's over here. Yeah, it's literally not servicing any of these people over here. It's got the pretty much the rest of the city itself, but it is lacking a little bit on the outskirts. Interesting. I don't really know how we would sort of combat that. I guess we could move this, but then if we move it, it's kind of in a central position. The only other thing we could maybe do is to actually set up another line and bring some more food, maybe with like 1 or 2 vehicles out to this sort of outer area. Because that's all I can really think of at the moment. Either way, it doesn't matter too much, and it's still growing, so I think we'll let it be for now. We'll let it be. We're really getting a decent amount of fuel over here, though. That's quite good to see. Not full yet, but it's getting pretty close. And of course, I'm assuming the refined oil's doing pretty well. I would hope it's doing well. How's this train doing? I have to say, it's probably a relatively old train. Anyway, enough about that. We need to focus on mobile. I mean, we made 30,000, so it's also got 19 people going back to mobile, so that's okay. That's okay. It's going to be slow growth, but you know, it's better than no growth. There we go. It doesn't really seem... I mean, the buses are kind of doing something. It's mostly just people waiting at this stop. And I'm assuming that they're all probably trying to go over to the station. So I might actually add another vehicle there. Let's grab 2. I know it's kind of overkill, but at the same time, you know, the buses aren't going to be the moneymakers. It's essentially just going to be the train lines. And this is quite a long one. That's quite a long train line. Actually, they're probably about equal. Same distance between Downey and Norwalk. Anyway, we need to get this one set up with Surprise. So let's do that. We've got about 5.3 million in the bank right now. So with that, I want to check my routes that we've got here. So nothing actually comes up to this road here. So I think we're just gonna, let's just delete that road. Just this little section here. So that's fine. And I guess we're now just gonna run our line. I think I might want it to connect into this second one. I think we also need to actually upgrade this other train. So let's do that first. So let's grab, I think it is, what? It's going to be Downey to Norwalk. I think I want to rename this one here as well. Do I want to rename it? I mean, it's not really a big issue. I guess we should, just to keep it similar. So let's get rid of Downey here. And then we'll go Downey over here. Just so it actually matches up, and it is essentially the hub, so it does kind of make sense. Okay. So what we want is Downey to Norwalk. We're going to grab this train. We're going to edit it. What I think we'll do is going to get rid of our general here. And we're going to go with the Baldwin. I feel like I should go with the Baldwin on the other train between the other stops there, but this is only going to cost us 729,000. So let's purchase that. We might actually want to... Let's add one more of these onto it as well. There we go, 1.4 million. Again, we'll recolor it that horrible greeny brown color. And that should be better off. So let's actually do the same. Although we're probably going to run out of money. So let's not do that, because I want to get this line up and running, because it's going to be a massive, massive money maker for us. So, this is going to be expensive. All right. I want it to run probably about there. And then we're going to curve it the opposite direction. Sort of around like that. That's so expensive. Tunnels in this game are super, super expensive. We're going to do it though. 1.7 mil, we're investing. It's an investment because again, we're going to link this line up here. It's all going to be fine. It's all going to be fine. Okay. I guess we don't actually even have to demolish our road train depot here. We can essentially just connect these together. Can we connect it directly into there? We can. Do I want to do that and bypass that track? Is it necessary? I mean, it allows us to be faster. So I guess we'll go as far as we can. Try that. Did that work? But that was actually not what I wanted to do. I wanted it to connect to this line. Okay. That was a bit silly. Alright, so let me demolish that. And once again, we'll go back into it and sort this back out. So I do want it to run into there. Do I want it to run into there? This is an interesting one. Because I guess we'll be getting another train. So, yeah, I guess we'll have 3 trains running on this line, but they're all going to be separate lines coming into the same hub. So we'll do that. It's going to go straight into there. It's going to bypass that that depot there. But I guess the only problem with that is, how are we going to get that train onto there? I guess we could simply just do this as well. And have this bad boy just join nicely like that. That works. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Now, we are going to have some issues, sort of, with this. So what we need to do is have a signal there. We need to have a signal here as well to essentially prevent the train from coming in when there's another train in there, and obviously it's going to wait for that one to leave, and that one's essentially going to do the exact same thing. So I think those 2 signals are fine. Again, the other line doesn't actually matter. From what I can gather, I might be wrong, but I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be okay. Alright, so let's set this new one up. So this new one is going to be, of course, DOWNEY. And it's going down to Surprise. And of course it is a passenger train, so we'll get the T in there as well. And there we go. Alright. So we need to sort it out. So the first stop for DOWNEY to Surprise is of course going to be there. And then of course it's going to be all the way back down in Surprise. Like I said, massive investment, but it should be fine. It really should. The 1.7 mil or it's probably more like 2 million with the rest of the tracks that we spent should be recouped. It should be fairly easy because, I mean, you know, Surprise is going to be a fairly big city, and of course DOWNEY itself is pretty massive as well. And they're only going to grow even bigger once this line is also set up. So, I think that's pretty good. Let's get a train running on that as well. And I'm just hoping it's going to use this. Let me go back into that line for a second. I mean, in theory, it should just go straight into this platform, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking. So, once again, let's just go with a... Do I want to go with a Baldwin? Or do we stick with the General? When is a General? Alright, so we got the General for quite some time still. Let's just go with the General. I know it's a lot slower, but we can always upgrade it in the future. So let's go with a... Well, we can't actually go with a 48 capacity. These passenger cars are so expensive compared to the old ones that we were using. How many can we do? Can only do one car at the moment. You know what? I'll buy it for now. And as soon as we get the money, I will actually sort it out a little bit more, I guess. Let's also give it that lime green color as well. We may as well. We're essentially coloring all of our trains to somewhat look like the lines that they're supposed to be. Now, moment of truth. Will it run straight onto this track here and go into the station? Okay, it will. Perfect. Where is this other train? Hopefully it's miles away. And I think it is. Yeah, it left not too long ago. Alright, so as you can see, we've got 103 people waiting for the Norwalk train. What I'm hoping is they're going to start using our beautiful lime green train here, who I assume has, yeah, nobody on it. Which is fine. Only has a capacity of 16. But I'm hoping by the time it gets down here, there might be 16 people waiting. At least, which would be very, very nice. And I mean, that was a big investment. I mean, yeah. I mean, people are really starting to pile up at the bus stops now. So I think we're going to have to get another couple of stagecoaches. At least 2 more onto the regular line. That's the reverse line. Interesting. But we do have a pretty big build-up here. Alright, so what we're going to do, we'll grab 2 more. Chuck them both onto the surprise bus loop. The normal one. I guess we could maybe go for 1 more on the other line as well. Let's do that as well. I guess, yeah, just one. Don't need to go too crazy. We'll put them onto the reverse, that one onto the reverse loop as well. Alright, how's the construction supplies going? Actually, it looks like their demand... Is it still the same? It might still be the same, actually. Ooh, we have another new train. We got the 260 Mogul, which I think has 10 kilometers faster speed than the current one we have, which is the, the Baldwin. Let's have a look. Yeah, so that's 60 kilometers an hour. That's 75. It also has a big power upgrade, 284 to 400 there, and also more tractive effort as well. Interesting. What's the price difference? It's another 400,000, man. I'm kind of, at the moment, I'm sort of content with our older trains. They're really putting in work, which is, you know, very important. I think we're going to need to upgrade this one here. I think we're do we? Maybe we don't. We need to start getting something into Downey, though. If we really want it to start to take off and grow. Ooh, what have we got here? Ooh, we are losing a lot of people. What is that? The normal bus loop. Let me pause it right here real quick. Okay. Let's get 4 more vehicles. 4 more stagecoaches onto the Norwalk bus loop. Is that the right one? The regular bus loop? Yeah, okay. So that's about 2020, so it's about 50% for each line there. Okay, I mean, that should hopefully be fine. Hopefully we're not losing too many passengers that are trying to get over to the stations themselves. Yeah, I mean, mobile actually looks like it's doing pretty well now. We've got 15 people waiting. One thing we should check out, how is the bread line going, the food line, into mobile? And then they're really not making too much money, are they? And the supply looks pretty limited. It's so far away, that's kind of the problem. I mean, what we could maybe add some cargo terminals and have a train run in here as well from the food processing plant. Or I could just upgrade the amount of vehicles that we have on the lines. I'm sort of wondering when we're going to get a new vehicle. I kind of feel like it should be fairly soon. So we got these guys, what, 1872? I mean, it was 22 years between those, so maybe we've got a little bit longer to wait. Either way, I might get another 4, and we'll chuck them. Ooh. Yeah, let's sell those. I didn't click which depot I wanted. So yeah, another little mistake I've made. Let's get those bad boys onto the mobile food plant delivery. We might also need to configure this one a little bit and grab a couple more cargo platforms. Just like that. Okay. We really just need... Okay, I mean, we're feeling a little bit of demand. I just feel like the city's not really growing too much. And there's obviously a lot of people waiting to sort of get out of mobile, so... And, yeah, there's really not a lot of people waiting to go there. So that kind of sucks. I mean, yeah, we really need to upgrade, so... Let's upgrade that train. And that is, of course, our surprise. Or Downey to surprise. Let's add a few more of these. Let's get it up to, I think 64 would probably be perfect. Too much? Let's go 48. We'll go 48. I think 48 will be maybe the perfect number. We've got 49 people waiting on that bus route. How many stagecoaches do we have on the regular bus loop? So the surprise bus loop. We've only got 4. Okay, we definitely need a few more. Let's grab another 3, I think. And they're going to go on the surprise bus loop. There we go. Yeah, because we're starting to hit a real big demand. Over 50 people. We've also got 30 people waiting at the station, which is nice, and that number's rising. So far, so good. Things are looking really good with our new line that we put in. We've got 34 people waiting there as well. Might even add one more. Just to be safe. So that needs to be on surprise bus loop. Okay. Alright, here's the train. So it's going to hopefully fill up pretty nicely. Let's once again do a nice little recolor on the rest of the train here. Okay. I feel like we're definitely getting close to maxing out this supply. So what's the capacity on that? 42 capacity there. And what's the capacity up here for this train? So it's 84, but it's not actually meeting the capacity, is it? Interesting. What I think we might do is get this one up to 60. That's probably the next best option. And then we will actually truly max out that line. So that is surprise construction delivery. No, that's not surprise construction. That is surprise construction to city. Let's edit that. And we want to get 2 more of those. 56. 63. Let's go 56. Recolor those to that light pink color. Alright, so I feel like that should be better. Or at least more beneficial. Although there's not a lot of bricks coming in, is there? That might have been a little bit of a mistake. Maybe. Maybe. It might be fine. Anyway. Let's go back up here. How many people are waiting? Okay, so we're getting a decent amount going to surprise as well. Which is perfect. And looks like we've got a decent amount up here as well, waiting to go into Downey from mobile. And that's also grown. It's up to 104, and I think it was, what, 87 previously? So that's doing well. We've got a hell of a lot of people here waiting for the reverse bus loop. So once again, still upgrading buses. So that was the Norwalk bus loop, I assume. Let me double check. The reverse bus loop, okay. So we'll get 3 more stagecoaches onto the Norwalk reverse. There we go. How many people are waiting here? 56 for the regular bus loop. So we'll grab another 3. And get those 3 onto the regular Norwalk bus route as well. Alright. Hopefully that'll sort out their problems as well. Hopefully, but again, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, these passenger lines are really doing pretty well. So I'm pleasantly happy and surprised with them. I kind of feel like it might be about time for us to venture into something else. Now, what that is, I don't really know. But, you know, we might have some possibilities around the place. What I really wanted to do was to try and look at doing some sort of boat. Some sort of, by sea transport. I think would be pretty cool. I mean, what's kind of standing out to me right now would be, I guess this forest here. But I mean, these are so close that we could easily get a tool line set up. I mean, these 3 are actually very, very close. Yeah, that's an interesting one. So we could get the wood here into planks at the sawmill, and then get the planks made into tools over here at the factory. Who needs tools, though? That's an interesting question. So Springfield down here, they need tools. And there's not really any close tools factories. And I mean, what we could essentially do is, once again, set up a nice passenger network that runs from, I guess, from Jacksonville up here, down through Pueblo, and then to Springfield as well. So that could be another, you know, straight sort of setup that we go for. And what we could also do is add on a cargo platform to the Springfield station and essentially have a train line or another line connecting up into the passenger line to essentially run the tools all the way down to Springfield, which would be pretty beneficial. I feel like that might be a relatively good idea. What we could also do is, guess on the way back, we could maybe stop for crude oil here. Because it's going to be very close to it. So we have another train stop there. So on its way back, it'll stop there, fill up on crude, and then run all the way back up through the main line, go all the way to the refinery. I'm just trying to spitball ideas here, and then obviously drop the crude off at the oil refinery, get it refined, and then it would go back on its way. But I'm kind of wondering, what would we do with the refined oil? Because there is this bad boy down here, but there's not actually anyone that demands fuel apart from Mesa over here. I mean, that is quite a distance for sort of one train by itself. So maybe we don't do that. But we could essentially just bring the crude up to here and drop it off. And we don't actually have to do anything with it. And it will essentially make us money. So I think we might do that. I think that might be next episode. I feel like that's going to be a pretty interesting thing for us to do. So we're going to have our planks running into here. I think we might use vehicles for that, because we already have the bridge set up there. And it's roughly the same distance. And of course it does take 2 logs for each plank to make. So essentially, with both of these, it'll essentially be 1 for 1, because we'll essentially have the double delivery coming in. And then what we'll do is we'll set the train up here. Actually, I think we should probably set the passenger lines up first. I know it's been a lot of passenger lines in the last couple of episodes, but we are going to eventually have the cargo line connecting onto the passenger line. So doing the passenger line first does kind of make sense. Either way, that is pretty much going to wrap up this episode, guys. So hopefully you have enjoyed. We've definitely done a lot this episode. Obviously, we've connected mobile to Downey. We've set up the mobile food demands. You know, we're supplying them with the food now from the farm and obviously the processing plant. And then, of course, we connected up Surprise as well, who are once again having some more issues with their bus stops. Let's grab another 3. Okay. I feel like I wish we could just get some better buses, to be honest. So which line is that? I've forgotten which line it is once again. Just the regular loop. Okay. Alright, so Surprise bus loop. We'll chuck them on there. I mean, it's kind of never-ending at this point. I feel like the buses are just going to keep going up. We could maybe do trams. But I've actually never done trams before. I've never decided to use trams. So maybe I should do that. Maybe I should explore, get out of my comfort zone a little bit. But obviously, next episode, we're going to be pretty busy. We're going to be pretty busy. We've got a lot to do with the whole other side of the map that we haven't actually touched yet. But I feel like what I said is a relatively good idea. Like I said, we probably won't use the refined oil for anything. But, you know, the possibility is there. It's there. Anyway, if you enjoyed the episode, guys, please make sure you've smashed the like button before you do click off. And, of course, if you're a new viewer, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Apart from that, as always, guys, take it easy and goodbye.